Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to KrabsLab. Today, we're starting a new series. We're backtesting for 1 hour every single day until we turn profitable in the markets. So, here's a month that I started already, but we're just going to be resuming this. And the main thing I'm trying to get out of this is holding myself accountable to backtesting every single day, and putting in just an hour every single day will help me get closer to my goals and help me get way better at understanding my strategy and getting time in the market, so I can see what's working, what's profitable, what's not profitable, what I gotta avoid, what I gotta stick to and focus more on. But yeah, that's pretty much why we're doing this. Right now we're backtesting NASDAQ in June 2023, so I'm pretty much doing all of 2023 right now. I already did a few months. I have some months of data here. Here's a bad month. Here's a good month. Oh wait, here's the current month. So here's just some data I have right now on my strategy. So far, it's not providing the best outcome per month, but I just want to see how this strategy performs over a full year, and then I can adjust if I have to move to a different strategy or if I should stick with this one. But so far, it's looking profitable month to month, with obviously there will be bad months because that's just how the markets are, but we're going to see how this strategy performs. But let me hop into piplabs here. June 9th, 2023. So this is the backtesting software that I've been using. It's called piplabs. If you guys want to check it out for yourselves, link in bio. If you want to help me out, that's my link in there. So far on this data, we're break even. We took one break even, one L, one win, and another L. Let me just show you guys my trading plan first. We're only trading New York session, US 30, NASDAQ, but for this data, I'm only doing NASDAQ. And then eventually, we're going to do all of 2023 on US 30 as well to see how it performs. But yeah, this is pretty much just my plan. If you guys want to screenshot it or something, just see how it is, like what exactly I'm doing. That's pretty much exactly what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm about to set a timer. Let's see. Set a hour stopwatch. Before I start, I'm about to just power off my phone so that no distractions here, so that we can really focus on this backtesting and make sure that it's a good session. But yeah, let's just start this right here and let's go. So doing this backtesting every single day for an hour, I already know that it's gonna make me a better trader, and it's something that I've actually been procrastinating for a while, is consistently daily backtesting. So if I come out here and say it to you guys, I will backtest 1 hour every single day until I'm profitable, I'm gonna do it because I told you. So that really holds me accountable, posting it on here and telling you guys that it is what I will be doing every day. So if I don't post a video, you guys know that I slacked off that day. But pretty much what I'm doing right now, I just marked up my times, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm marking up the NYSE market open here, so exactly at 9:30 a.m. that's the only time I trade. So right here is market open, and here is the previous day. Right now I'm gonna mark up previous day's high, previous day's low, using the ray tool. Just mark that up right here. Previous day's high here, previous day's low. And also on this data, I'm gonna be taking my time. I'm gonna be treating it as if it's a real trading day. So I'm not rushing anything. But right here we got Asia session low. I believe this day is a Friday. Yeah, it is a Friday here. So if I look back here previously in the week, we're break even on the week. So this is the final day of the week. That's just something that I like to note, is where I am in the week, if it's a profitable week or not, that my risk will be adjusted to that. Well, not really my risk. I'm only risking 1% on this, all of this data, but that is something I like to keep in mind, is how my week is going so far. Should I take a more risky entry? Should I wait for something safer? Really depends on how the week is going. But let's see if we got a London low here. Yeah, so London low is right here. Just paraphrase it like that. Just wrote London. So what I'm doing now is I'm marking up these session highs and lows, because these are high probability areas of liquidity. So yeah, as we can see right here, at about 8 a.m. previous day's high was ran for liquidity. I'm just gonna mark this out. Previous day's high liquidity was rated. Let's see what our bias is for the day. Hop on the daily time frame here. Previous daily candle closing bullish. See if we got any fair value gaps. I'm just going to use this horizontal line just because it's easier for me. I just like marking up daily fair value gaps. Let's see if there's anything here on the left. I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Very important, because sometimes people don't look left and they think they're at all-time highs, but really they're not. So if price taps into this level, 147.88.4, that means that we would have filled this daily fair value gap, which daily fair value gaps are pretty strong areas that price could react off of. So right away, I already know that off the 4 hour, off the daily, my bias is fully bullish. So I'm gonna note that down right here, keep it on the side. My bias is bullish. Why? Because the previous daily closed bullish and the previous 4 hour closed bullish as well. Now I'm gonna check for any 4 hour gaps, any 4 hour fair value gaps. I see one right here right away, so I'll mark this up. 4 hour fair value gap right here, and mark up this. I like to just mark down if it's a fair value gap fill or not, because I like to see my fair value gaps get filled all the way before having an entry. But that's just me. Let's scroll all the way left here, make sure we didn't miss anything here. Yeah, we didn't really miss anything on the 4 hour. So now we're gonna hop down to our 1 hour time frame. This is our execution time frame. Right away, I see we have this 1 hour fair value gap right here that looks like it's about to get filled. So we're gonna mark that up right there. right here, I see we have this 1 hour imbalance here in price. So we're going to mark this up. The imbalance is basically a fair value gap with it's basically like a fair value gap, but the third candle of the pattern, which is this candle right here, this candle's still moving, still active. So if price fills this 1 hour imbalance, I could see a reaction off of here to follow my bias. But let's see what we can do here. See if there's any other gaps here. Here on the 1 hour, we got this daily gap, or not this daily, this 1 hour gap right here. So I'm gonna mark this down. And then this is actually also a fair value gap, or it's the same fair value gap, but not a fill. So I got that marked up. And also with this whole backtesting 1 hour a day series, if you guys have never backtested before, it's definitely something very important. It's something that's helping me a lot right now on my journey. And doing it the right way is very important. So what I do is I'm in my New York time and I'm marking up the exact times that I would be trading during my, during when I normally trade. So I only trade 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So all of this data, I'm not taking anything outside of that time, because then I wouldn't have accurate data. But pretty much time right now, 9:30 a.m. market open. Right now I'm gonna mark up where I'm looking for my plays. Also down here we have a 1 hour gap, but it is pretty far down. Probably won't have to worry about this, but right here I'm gonna check the 15-minute. Let's see if any liquidity was swept. Let's check the 5-minute. So if 5-minute, or if on the 1 hour here, we can come down to fill this 1 hour imbalance here at 9:30 a.m. I'm gonna look for my longs off this 1 hour gap and sweeping this 5-minute liquidity here. I do like this setup if we can get it. Price could just want to continue bullish and follow our bias, but this is my ideal setup for today. 5-minute liquidity below here, 1 hour imbalance, targeting, my target ideally would be this 1 hour gap or this liquidity up here. But yeah, let's see what price does. We're gonna play this. This is something I love about piplabs, live tick data. We see how this candle moves as if we're in the live market. But price could easily just continue bullish right now. Run for this liquidity sitting up here. I'm gonna mark this up. And we could have no setups. And that's okay if that happens. But we're watching, we're waiting. Yeah, so price looks like it's very volatile here, running for this liquidity sitting up here at 146.45.9. But nice to see price follow our bias even though we didn't have an entry off of this. I'm just going to look at some lower time frames because I have been studying the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, so price is going to run this high and then probably reject down. But yeah, it looks like we don't really have any setup. Now, after having a move like this, I wouldn't even want to take an imbalance play off of there. So for this trading day, it's no setups. But yeah, it looks like price ran this liquidity up here, these equal highs up here. Price could also want to run these highs up here. I'm gonna just mark this up. Yeah, price just ran that liquidity. Let's see if we got a reaction down now. So now what I'm doing right now is just I'm watching price. I already have no setups on this session, but I'm just noting down what price is doing, how it's reacting. Yeah, so we ran these highs right here. We're getting a pullback now. If there's a closure below here, we're gonna continue down. Nice retracement. Price could want to come up, maybe fill some of these imbalances up here, or it could just want to melt. I mean, we got imbalance here, fair value gap right here. Price could want to tap into here and then continue down. But yeah, no setups on today, no entries. But we're just studying price and what price is doing. So yeah, no setup. I'm gonna mark this down. I'm gonna throw in my screenshot. It's definitely not fun for the video, for the YouTube, to have no setups, but there's nothing you can do about that. We're gonna move on to our next day here, the 12th. Now that is a Monday. But yeah, no setups. I just threw this into my backtesting. Still threw in my screenshot here. But yeah, let's hop on to Monday now. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, so price just wanted to fill this imbalance up here. Now react, but now we're gonna skip, see if we continue bullish or not. Now I'm just skipping over to is it 12th? Yeah, 12th at 9 a.m. right here. Let's pause price here. Not sure why it's still moving. I think it's bugging out right now, but it really shouldn't be moving right now because I paused it, but I think it's just the backtesting software glitching out. But now we're on the 12th. I'm gonna mark up our chart right here. I'm gonna mark up the previous day. This is a Monday, start of a new week. I'm gonna mark up. I'm just gonna be using this horizontal line. Hopefully it doesn't confuse anyone, but it's just easier for me than drawing the ray that I've been using, the trend line. But yeah, pretty much previous day's high, previous day's low here. Over here we got, I'm gonna just rewind this because I'm not sure why price is like playing like that. It shouldn't be. It should be paused right now, but it's bugging out. But pretty much Asia low is right here. Asia low right here, 1800 to midnight is the Asia session range. That's where liquidity likes to lay and rest. But Asia session high right here. Let's see what London did here. London ends at like around, I would say 5 a.m. So London high right here. There's not really a London low. That's very significant. I mean, we do have this low right here at midnight that liquidity could be resting under, but I'd rather use the Asia low. But yeah, now I'm gonna hop on my daily time frame here. Bullish on the daily. I see that we have this daily gap right here. That the Asia low is also a daily fair value gap. So that is aligned. Also, the bottom of the gap here, if it gets filled, that would be pretty high probability to continue up following the daily bias of being bullish. Let's see, we're gonna scroll all the way left here. Let's see what's up on the daily. We got daily gap right here. Price wants to go in there and fill that. That's a area that we will most likely get a reaction off of. But yeah, that looks like it's pretty much it on the daily. Now hopping on the 4 hour, we're also bullish, so we're just gonna mark up our bias right here. Bias is bullish. Why? Because previous daily candle closed bullish, and previous 4 hour candle closed bullish as well. So I'm only looking for longs here today to make sure we follow our bias. So right here on the 4 hour, I see this daily, or not daily, I see this 4 hour fair value gap down here. That if price wants to fill, could see a move up off of that. But right now, we will hop on the 1 hour. See, that's pretty much all I'm looking at on the 4 hour. I mean, we also have this 4 hour gap down here if price wants to reach down there. And on the 1 hour, we have this 1 hour gap right here that we will mark up. For value gap fill if price reaches down there, and top of the fair value gap up here. So something I like using a lot is these higher time frame fair value gaps, because price likes to have reactions off them, especially the 4 hour and daily gaps. And I've noticed that price loves to react near the previous day's highs, previous day's lows, and as well as the London highs and lows and Asia highs and lows. Mostly the London highs and lows though, I see nice reactions off of. But let's hop on the 30 now. Let's skip a little bit. So 9:30 here. Actually can't pause price. I'm not sure why. It's bugging out. But here, 10 a.m. Boom. Filled this 4 hour gap right here. Ideally, if I could pause this. The software is tweaking out, but let's see what this would be at this 4-hour gap. Yeah, so most likely I'd be in a long position here at this 4-hour gap being filled. I'd be running a 30-point stop right here. So let's see if we can get our 1 to 2 here. I'm not sure why this software won't let me like hit stop right now, but it's kind of bugging out. But yeah, let's just watch this, see if we can get a reaction to the upside. Price is pretty volatile right now. It's 10 a.m. But 9:30 didn't really give any good setup. But yeah, this is most likely the one trade for the day. Looks like we filled this 1-hour gap as well. Did we sweep some lows? We have swept these lows right here. Let's see if we hit 1 to 1. Can we move stops to break even? Or not yet? Let's see. Almost hit 1 to 1. Once we hit 1 to 1, we can move stop loss to break even. Let's see here if we can get that push up so that we can move risk free. Yeah, so we also swept these 1-hour lows down here. Alright, so 1 to 1 RR was hit. Moving stops to break even now. It's either break even or TP at 1 to 2 RR. But yeah, risk free now in this trade. Holding for, ideally I'm holding for this previous day's high being the next draw on liquidity, following my fully bullish bias. But let's see if we can hit TP here at 60 points, risking 30 points to get 60. So that would be a 1 to 2 RR. But yeah, let's see what price wants to do here. I'm not getting my hopes up right now because many times price has edged my TP like this before, and then we rejected and hit my break even. That's happened multiple times to me, so I know what can happen. So I'm not getting, yeah, it looks like it's, let's see what's going on the 15-minute. Five-minute time frame. We do have this fair value gap right here that I'm gonna mark up. Price could want to fill that and then react. But now we're just studying price. Price filled the 5-minute gap. Now let's see if we can continue up. Price doesn't really have a reason now to continue lower unless it invalidates the setup, because then it would be inversing that 5-minute fair value gap that it just filled and rejected nicely off of. But yeah, let's see what price wants to do here. So yeah, we're just waiting now. I mean, we did trade today also, like on the prop firm account. We caught a break even on that. And now we're back testing after work. But yeah, we got this gap right here on the 5-minute that price could want to fill and react off of. Price is getting volatile now. Bullish momentum to the upside. TP is exactly 600 points. And TP smashed for 1 to 2 RR. Very nice trade. Followed our bias, followed our plan, followed our rules. and we got rejected. We didn't get rejected. We got rewarded for that. So yeah, here's the trade here. 300 point stop, targeting a 1 to 2 reaction off the 4 hour fair value gap being filled. Let's see if price draws towards this previous day high liquidity and runs it for the highs. That's what I'm predicting price will do. We're going to see if that plays out, but this is my 1 to 2. As you can see right here, price filled this 5-minute gap very nicely here and then continued bullish to the upside, which is something I'm studying right now, is looking at these lower time frames and seeing how price reacts while I'm in a trade. And also like 5-minute break of structures are things that I like right here, 5-minute break of structure right here, order block. It's just new things I'm studying and back testing is on these lower time frames. But yeah, we're gonna journal this. First, we're gonna write out entry confirmations here. Number 1 being time. This was in between my high probability time window of 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for my entry. Number 2 was my bullish bias followed, very important. Number 3, 4 hour fair value gap fill. And that's all that I needed to enter this trade. Oh, and also we had four-hour lows liquidity was raided or swept, whatever you want to call it. We had these lows right here swept for liquidity, and price tapped in to fill a 4-hour fair value gap, which was this one right here. And that was all the confirmation that I needed. The number 1 thing in this trade was the bullish bias. Previous daily candle, previous 4-hour candle, we didn't have 1-hour candle, I don't think. Yeah, we didn't have 1-hour closing bearish, but 4-hour and daily being aligned is all that we needed. That's the most important thing when I see daily and 4-hour candles being aligned, meaning that they're both bullish. It's pretty high probability that price will continue bullish. And also on the 4-hour, on the daily, we have break of structure here. But yeah, this is this trade. I'm going to screenshot this, throw this into the journal. Hit a 1 to 2 here, 2%. Long, follow daily bias, yes, we're bullish. Time, this was like 10 a.m. Setup for value gap fill, 1 to 2 risk to reward. Followed our rules, of course. And we're gonna throw in our entry confirmations here. Just to have them noted. And we're on to the next day now. It is a Tuesday. So we're going to skip over to that. Oh, and as you can see, as you can see right here, price drew to these previous days high very nicely and swept the liquidity there. But this was a very bullish volatile day. But yeah, I'm gonna skip over to the next day now. I'm gonna restart this software too because it's been bugging out. Like, this candle is still playing right now. It should be paused. But I'm gonna restart this real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, so I just had to restart my backtesting software real quick. Let me restart my timer now. because and now as you can see, that candle's not moving. The backtesting software was tweaking out before. But yeah, we're on to the next day. We're now on June 13th. It's a Tuesday. So let's see what we can do. So the 13th, hop on the 1 hour here at 9 a.m. We're gonna skip over now. Yeah, so now the software is not bugging out. Just had to restart it right there. But yeah. So I'm gonna mark up my days here. Got midnight right here, and this is the previous day. The previous day gives us a lot of data. Right now I'm just moving the time to exactly 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark up previous day's highs, previous day's lows, just like we did the day before. And the main thing I'm trying to do when I'm backtesting is treating it like it is a live trading day, like it's a real trading day, doing everything exactly the same times. Here we got Asia low. At 1800. This is a London low. Let's see. Nah. Here we got London high was ran. That's something we can mark down. Ideally, I'm guessing our bias is bullish before even looking at the daily and 4 hour, just based on the previous day trending upward. So let's see what the previous day closure was. I'm guessing it's bullish just based on the previous day. But yeah, previous day closed very bullish, strong bullish. Previous 4 hour closed bearish. Previous 1 hour closed bullish. So my bias for this session is bullish based on the daily candle closure. But right here, I'm gonna mark this up. Bullish. Daily's bullish. 4 hour bearish. 1 hour. 1 hour's bullish. Ideally, I want the daily and the 4 hour to be aligned, to both be bullish, but here we have 4 hour being bearish and daily bullish, but the daily is stronger than the 4 hour, so that's what I'm going to be going with for my bias. But right here, I'm going to mark up this daily imbalance that we have in price. If price wants to retrace all the way down here, I would say it's pretty high probability to get a move up from this daily imbalance to continue with our bullish bias, but that is pretty far away from price here, about like 300 points. It has a long way to go to get back down there. But on the 4 hour here, looks like we got 4 hour fair value gap right here that we will mark up. Here's the bottom of the gap. If it gets filled here, we could potentially look for a move up off of that as well. But if price comes back down all the way down here, I would just be expecting price to come down and fill this daily imbalance as well, and most likely sweep these previous day's lows. So I wouldn't really be looking for a trade off this 4 hour gap and it is a very wide gap here, as you can see here, very wide. Wouldn't normally be looking for a trade off of that, so that's just something to keep in mind. But we do have this 1 hour imbalance right here that is active. Imbalances are basically the same thing as a fair value gap, but a fair value gap is a 3 candlestick pattern of like closed candles, and the imbalance is when the third candle of the pattern is still moving, it's still active. So this candle right here is still moving right now, and it could want to push down to fill this 1 hour imbalance. Now we could possibly get a move off of this, but we're gonna see what we can do. There's no way I just did that. No way I just did that. We just restarted the whole. Alright, I'll be right back, one sec. So I just really dropped my mic onto my keyboard, and it just restarted my whole backtesting software, which is crazy. But I just remarked up all of this, and getting back to 9:30 a.m. right now. But yeah, what I was saying before was we have this 1 hour imbalance here, and if price wants to come back down to retest it, could see a move up following our fully bullish bias. Yeah, so it was a real struggle remarking this all back up, but we back now. Restart our timer. But yeah, what I was saying before was we swept this Asia high here, or this isn't Asia high, this is London high. We swept London high at 8 a.m. So I'm gonna note this down. Just to keep it in our minds, meaning that when liquidity is swept, could see a move down. And also what this is though, this is a 1 hour break of structure here above these highs. So I mean, a retracement down into this 1 hour imbalance would be very nice. But let's check the lower time frames, see what's up on the 15-minute. Looks like this 1 hour imbalance is also like a 15-minute gap here. And I mean, we did sweep these lows here for liquidity, so swept the lows for liquidity on the 15, break a structure. If we can come back and fill this 1 hour gap here, continuation would make sense. On the 5-minute here, same thing on the 5-minute, swept the lows, liquidity, swept the lows here, break a structure here, candle closure. So if we could retrace now, continue back up, we could also sweep these 5-minute lows for liquidity here, retrace to this 1 hour gap, continue bullish following our bias. But yeah, let's see if price wants to just continue bullish without us, or if price will tap into our 1 hour imbalance here, giving us a nice entry opportunity. But yeah, let's see. Looks like we could be coming down to our gap here. We're going to speed up price a little bit so that we don't have to wait. playing price second by second here, as if it's the live market. But yeah, price is coming down here. Boom. Let's see if we can fully fill this 1 hour imbalance, and we'll be in our bias. If we can fully tap in, boom. Yeah, we're gonna be in right here in our buys. So we're gonna enter right here. We're gonna run a 30-point stop as usual, targeting 600 or 60 points. So let's just see what happened on the 5-minute here after we enter. Yeah, that's pretty much our setup. Execute here at market, risking 1%. But yeah, 5-minute here, let's see. 5-minute retracement, 15 filled this big imbalance we had as well. So I would like to ideally see price continue back up and come for this liquidity sitting above here, above these highs. So yeah, this is the target here. These highs right here. But yeah, let's see what price wants to do. Could get stopped out. Could get a nice TP, but let's see. Looks like price is now rejecting this 1 hour imbalance. We held a little bit of heat here. Let's see if we can hit our 1-to-1 RR. Did we hit 1-to-1? I believe we almost hit 1-to-1. So 10 a.m. here. I just have this RR marked up so that I know when to move to break even. Targeting a 1-to-2, but let's see. Price is struggling here. Looks like stopped out here for a L of -1%. So we're gonna note this down and journal it. We're gonna put in our entry confirmations. Number 1 being time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Number 2 being bullish bias. Bullish bias followed. Number 3, 1 hour imbalance being filled. Let's just see what happened on the 15-minute here. On the 5-minute, it looks like price could be going towards these Asia lows to grab liquidity from below there. 4 hour gap here. Yeah, so there's really no re-entry opportunities for me because this 4 hour gap is way too wide. This gap is very wide. Not looking for a re-entry off of there. But yeah, based on the 5-minute here, looks like price just reversed. But yeah, we're gonna journal this and move on to the next day. Grab a screenshot here. Rules followed, yes. This was an imbalance fill, -1%. Long, daily bias, yes. Bullish, 9:30 a.m. We actually almost hit our 1-to-1 RR. So that's something I'm gonna note as well. reversal to stop loss at 10 a.m. Almost hit our 1-to-1 RR, so we almost moved stops to break even. But yeah, moving on to the next day here, 14th. Looks like we're going to be able to get in one more trade here. Got about 15 minutes left. We're going to finish strong. We're going to look to get in one more trade of data here. But yeah. Actually, let's just see how price wants to play out here now though. I mean, the next draw on liquidity is these Asia lows down here. Price could want to grab liquidity and continue back up. But price could also then want to retrace this entire move down here, because we do have 4 hour being bearish here. So that is most likely the reason that we had that reversal and that price didn't want to continue bullish, is due to this 4 hour closing bearish. So price could want to retrace a little bit, maybe fill this 4 hour gap and then continue back up. Yeah, I'm gonna just mark that up and let's see how price plays out, just to watch and study price. But yeah, let's see. Skip by 5-minute candles here just to watch what price does. Alright, so it looks like price just swept these Asia lows right here. Price swept Asia lows, tapped into this 4 hour wide fair value gap, and had a nice move bullish to the upside. Let's see what, I'm just studying price right now, what it's doing. What was this liquidity grab here on the 15-minute? So it looks like price swept these 15-minute lows right here for liquidity, continued up. But yeah, I'm just watching price, watching what's going on. But the main thing, I was right about this. Asia low was swept for liquidity, 4 hour gap was tapped into, and we had a move up off of that, continuing price bullish. The reason I didn't take a trade here was because of how wide this gap was. There was really no telling that price would react right here. Price could have easily tapped in lower before rejecting up. So if this 4 hour gap was something tighter like this, then I would definitely take the trade. But it wasn't, it was a lot wider. So that's the reason I didn't take my entry there. But yeah, on to the next day. We're going to skip over to the 14th, Wednesday. And this is most likely our last trade for this backtesting session. But yeah, let's get to the next day. Next day is the Wednesday, the 14th of June 2023. Just gonna skip over now. Set our time here. Same thing as before, marking up the previous day. Got midnight right here. And here's the previous day right here. Right as before. Just like before, previous day's high. Right there. We're gonna mark up previous day's low right here. And now we're gonna mark up our session highs and lows. Right here we got London low. We got Asia low. Asia low was right here. Asia low was already swept. So Asia low was swept here, and we had a big move up to the upside. But now on the daily, we're clearly still bullish. Here we're going to mark up this daily imbalance we got. Price could want to pull back and fill this daily imbalance, maybe even fill this daily fair value gap down here. But for right now, we're definitely bullish based on the daily. 4 hours bearish though. 1 hour's bullish. On the 4 hour, same thing as the day before. We still have this fair value gap down here on the 4 hour. Pretty wide liquidity void. Liquidity void is basically when there's a bunch of fair value gaps inside of one of another, like this. But yeah, on the 1 hour here, let's skip exactly to 9:30 a.m. Let's see what price does. We'll skip 30 minutes. Boom, 9:30 a.m. NYSE open right here. It actually looks like, if I'm being real, it looks like we might not even have a setup here. I mean, we have this daily imbalance, but yeah, so the only trade setup I see of this daily imbalance, sweeping these lows, could make sense. Sweep London low to continue back up, following our daily buys being bullish. That's really the only trade setup I see right here. Because if price continues below that, I feel like it'll just want to fill this liquidity void here. But yeah, let's check the 15 minute. Break a structure to the downside. Liquidity swept. Yeah, so I mean, if we can come down here to this daily imbalance, that's really the only thing I'm really looking for. We got 15-minute fair value gap here. That I'm gonna just mark out. 15-minute fair value gap just to have it. See how price reacts off this. Let's check the 5. Same thing on the 5 pretty much. But yeah, right here, looks like we're getting a break of structure to the upside, but let's just see what price does now. I'm going to be playing this 9:30 a.m. right now. London lows were swept. Let's see if we can fill this 15-minute gap. Could possibly react off of this. London low swept, tapped into 15-minute gap. Just gonna watch though. I don't take trades off the 15-minute gap. But yeah, it looks like we're drawing towards this daily imbalance down here. If we hop on the daily time frame. But right here, it looks like we rejected off this 15-minute gap. Actually very nicely. No top wick as well. Most likely gonna flip. Yep. And make this top wick. So yeah, I'm just marking this up to see if we would have hit TP if we had an entry off this 15-minute gap right here. We would. Yeah, so we would have TP right there if my entry was off this 15-minute gap. But 15-minute gaps are still something that I'm backtesting, gathering data on. Right now I only use higher time frame gaps, but looking at this setup, what I learned here was that 15-minute gaps could make sense. It's something I gotta keep looking at. We had London lows here, swept for liquidity. right here, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. lows. I'm going to just mark up this one. So London low right here, swap for liquidity. Alright, what I was saying was London low, swept for liquidity here. Boom, tapped into this 15-minute fair value gap. Daily bias was bullish. Continue price back up, targeting these previous day's highs for liquidity. Boom, previous day's highs, stumbling on my words. Previous day's highs, liquidity was swept for liquidity now. Looks like we got some news coming out right now. Yeah, so this is a no setup day for me, by the way. But now what I'm doing, I'm just watching how price forms. Right now we got 15-minute gap here. We got a 15-minute imbalance here. But yeah, let's check the 5-minute. 5-minute gap here formed. Just studying price here, watching how price reacts. We got 5-minute imbalance right here. Price could want to fill this, continue up. But yeah, we're just watching price here play out. Watching price develop. It's like we could get break of structure to the downside, maybe not. Let's just see what this 5-minute gap gave potential for. Did it give potential for an entry? 30-point stop. Targeting 600. Definitely did give a potential entry there as well. So these are just things that I'm noting down. I'm noting down what these lower time frame fair value gaps and lower time frame confluences are giving potential for, because as of recently I've only been on the 1 hour time frame pretty much, and I've been wanting to research and study the lower time frames, because moves like this, London low swept, boom, tapped into 15-minute fair value gap, boom, nice reaction right off of that, with the main driving point of this move that I called before. I didn't really call it because I didn't take it, but it was something that I predicted. I drew out an arrow like this before it happened, if you play back the video. But yeah, pretty much the main driver for this idea was London low being a high probability session of liquidity resting below it, and this 15-minute fair value gap being right here that price wanted to tap into to then reject off of. Ideally here, I would want to see this get filled, but something that I've been noticing is these lower time frame gaps don't normally get filled all the way. But I'm used to the 1 hour, 4 hour daily. These gaps normally do get filled all the way, and then price rejects off of them. But something that I'm learning now is that lower time frame fair value gaps don't always get filled all the way. Like price could just tap into it right away and then have the reaction like this. But that's pretty much it for this backtesting session. Let me just mark this up. Just mark this up, throw it in my journal that there was no setups today. Bias was bullish here. Followed my rules, yes. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna note something down. Plus 15-minute gauge or move upside. So yeah, what I just wrote down here was London low liquidity was rated, and 15-minute fair value gap was tapped into, and it gave a move to the upside that was following my daily bias that I was watching, taking note of lower time frame confluences and watching 5-minute and 15-minute price action. Study the lower time frames and gather data on it. So yeah, that's just a note. No setups here, but I did do some studying of the lower time frames and how price reacted off of them and how price developed live off these lower time frames, like here. Potential entry off this 5-minute to continue bullish, which would have actually played out. Say stops below here. But yeah, here's break of structure here. Liquidity was not quite swept, but just something to watch here. If liquidity was swept here, say this wick goes lower, break a structure, then maybe tap into order block, that could also give a move. Something I'm also studying, I haven't been drawing it up, but something I'm looking at is order blocks. I'm going to be marking those up in the next videos. I didn't really mark it up in this one, I was just kind of watching them, but it's definitely something that I'm looking at. Order block right here. Let's just see if price wants to tap off into it now and continue up. Let me just write this. So this is a 5-minute order block, so it's not the most like high confluence, but let's just see. Price taps into the order block, and let's see if we can continue up. Could also disrespect it. It's just a 5-minute. Yeah. So it looks like price just disrespected, or not disrespected, it just filled the 5-minute order block here. But yeah, I'm gonna be drawing those up in the next backtesting videos. But yeah, for the first backtesting session of the 1-hour daily backtesting series, this was a pretty good session. I mean, we took 2 trades, 1 W, 1 L, few no setups here, which is all good. And we also studied the lower time frames today, which is something I want to keep doing going forward. Something I also want to do going forward is marking up order blocks, learning more about those. As you can see here, that retracement was actually filling in this 1-hour fair value gap, which price then reacted off of right here. But what backtesting is doing for me, right now is I'm spending time in the market. I'm getting market experience. And during this backtesting, we backtested about 4 days within this hour. I'm gonna just stop this right here. So here's our 1 hour. But yeah, during this 1 hour, we basically gathered 4 days of data in the markets at the times that I would be trading live. So if I do this every single day, I will speed up my learning curve. I will get more time in the markets and gather basically live market experience, because with piplabs, this backtesting software that I use, you guys saw how the candles are moving. They're developing right away. I have tried FX Replay, which is a different backtesting software, but their candles don't develop like this. It's not like a live market. But with piplabs, this is basically simulating a live market environment. Like, there's really nothing closer to a live market than this. So in 1 hour of time, I backtested about 4 days of data. So now these 4 days of data are now adding to my market experience. And if I stick to this, doing it every day, which I will, because I told you guys that I will, and what that does, it holds me accountable, so that I have to do it every single day, no matter what, or else you guys will see that I didn't stick to my claim. And pretty much, if you're not on my Discord yet, hop in here. We're doing live trading every single day of the week, starting next week. Just starting that up. We're growing pretty fast. A ton of members joining up here. And if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, make sure to follow up at KrabsFX_. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want me to keep posting, which I will, obviously, I'm gonna definitely be doing these every single day. 1 hour backtesting every single day until I'm profitable. Mark my words, I'm gonna do it every single day, because I'm gonna look back on these one day, once I get funded, once I get a payout. And this is really the work that I need to put in, and it's the work that I've been procrastinating doing, is my backtesting. So this new series of doing an hour every single day is really going to hold me accountable. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.